Okay, so I'm re-recording my script now because I accidentally recorded too far away from the mic. Hey, guess who lied about the next video being about Bloodborne? This guy did. I've been obsessed with a Friday Night Funkin' mod lately, actually, and I really wanted to share my analysis of it with you guys. And before I go into it, I wanted to say, like, I heard that some of the stuff that might have been released about it might be leaks, like an animation for it, or something. I wasn't 100% sure. I'm kind of a bit of an outsider on this. I'm not like, I don't know where the community is. I'm not like super in on all the information about it. I just kind of saw this on YouTube. I'll go over how I discovered it, but I'm a bit, I'm on the outside looking in, so I wanted to share my in-depth character analysis on the song here. And I'll stop repeating myself and we will actually get into it. If anyone on this video wants to avoid spoilers for the mod, I would say click off because I don't know what counts as spoilers in this. And let me stop wasting time. And also I wanted to mention that this mod really reignited my passion for animation. I might show a few on screen that I've been making lately. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the visuals here, but we'll see. Now, my introduction to this was on Shorts. I saw a clip of the animation and I was really drawn in by all the expressions and the poses, the way these things were composed visually and auditorily. I think that's a word. But there's so much like passion, there's so much emotion in every movement and every tone in this. I really wanted to like know what the context was leading up to this point, like to this creation, what it all means, you know? So I also wasn't really into SML before this. I got into the show so I could get more context on these characters, so I could figure out like what it all means, you know? So we're gonna go into the next chapter now so I can explain a bit of backstory for anyone who doesn't know. So for the the characters that we're gonna need to know about for this analysis, we're gonna need to know about Brooklyn Guy, Does Bad Things Guy, Marvin, who used to be Mario, Rose, who used to be Rosalina, and their, I think, adopted son, Jeffy, who isn't super important to this, but I guess, yeah, he is important. We'll get to that. So, Brookie is a character who has multiple jobs in the town. You know, he's a cop, doctor, pizza delivery guy, pilot, construction worker, repairman, like everything, like major jobs, smaller jobs. He's basically everything you're gonna need in the town. And he wakes up at like around 4 a.m. and every night maybe like 1 or 3 hours of sleep, if he gets any, because his wife snores really loud. So yeah, Marvin and his wife, they live in this town with their son, and they're constantly calling for help with the smallest of problems, the biggest problems. They've just always got something going on, and Broken Guy is always there to help them. He's always dropping what he's doing, you know, abandoning a surgery, abandoning whatever he's doing at his cop job, just so they can come to their house and see what they need. Probably get very underpaid because I don't know if they pay well. And, you know, one day he decides, I need a break from this. Like, I've been doing this for so long. I can't keep up with it. I need to just have some me time. So he contacts his only identical twin, Does Bad Things Guy, and he says, hey, you've got to take over for me for a bit so I can recover and just have my me time. So Does Bad Things Guy, he comes over, and no one notices the difference, right? Because they're identical. And in the time that he's taking over for his brother, he sells a new house to Marvin and Rose on the condition that they don't open the secret door within. I wanted to say that in that video, I thought it was worth noting how often he kept insisting he is Brooklyn Guy, which I think should have been a pretty big red flag to the other characters, but, you know, who am I to say that? I'm not a puppet. So, they agree to never open the door, but they don't tell their son about this rule. One day, while they're playing hide and seek with him, he hears a voice calling for them from within, and he goes in, he opens the door, and he sees the secret, and he screams. His parents run over to see what's going on, and they call the cops. And then it just so happens that Does Bad Things guy is the one to answer the call, and that's a pretty big coincidence, is it not? When they start talking about bodies, he sort of drops his act. He keeps it up a bit, but he realizes they've seen more than what he wanted them to see, and now he's gonna have to. He feels like he's gonna have to do something pretty drastic. So once they lead him to the secret room and they try to tell him what they see, he knocks them out and he gets them prepared for killing. Then he has them tied up. He goes all crazy. He starts ranting about how he had to kill these people to get these outfits so he can serve them to their every whim whenever they need him. And he's like ripping apart these bodies and all this stuff. And he says how he feels like he can't stop himself. He has to kill people if they see his secret room. Before he gets a chance to mutilate them or do anything to them, Brooklyn guy gets back and shoots his brother in the head, and he saves the couple. Personally, I don't think he's dead. I think he's just knocked out. I would not want him to be dead. Maybe. So before we go into the lyrics, I also want to go over the twins' backstory, or what I've pieced together from what I've seen. I could be missing some more context, but from what I've seen, I'm going to tell you what I know. So they're identical twins, and we know that their mother and father did not love them. Father wasn't really present, I don't think, and the mother really hated them for some reason, and always saw them as failures. Now, personally, I don't know if she could tell them apart, or if she really thought of them as two separate kids. I kind of get the sense that she just referred to both of them as Brooklyn guy and didn't really care for there being a second one, because Does Bad Things guy, that's not really a real name, and in the few videos I've seen of his family, there's no mention at all of the twins, so it seems like they just don't want to acknowledge that he ever existed. So they both grew up being the least favorite child, and it seems the twins had different ways of taking this. Brooklyn guy seemed to be the more sane of the two, and instead of taking out his anger or anything, he seemed to internalize self-hatred more so. I don't know how to explain it, but in some of the episodes he has a lot more of talking down about himself or degrading himself and feeling bad and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes he'll try to cope with his feelings by being egoistic or overcompensating for what he feels about himself. And then Does Bad Things guy took a more external hurting others approach of he had so much hatred built in him, he had to take it out and hurt other people. And gore might have been his unhealthy coping mechanism, but might have felt like the most efficient way to release those emotions that he had and deal with that inner turmoil. Okay, now we're gonna get into the first set of lyrics that I think these are the earliest lyrics are my mind, my face, it's all yours at the end of the day. My life, my name, it's all yours to reflect and sustain. I don't know if that is copyright. I am not going to play it or say it, or sorry, not say it, sing it in the way that's intended, because I don't know how that stuff works. I think the lyrics in this version of the song, they could fit either character really well. Now, we know who it is singing, but I'm just gonna say, if it was Brooklyn guy singing, I think considering how much he does for these people and how much he does for the entire town, it would work as a really good crash out song, basically, because let's really look at the lyrics here. It would make sense that his mind is completely taken over by these people. This couple in particular, because as we do know, he prioritizes them over everything else. Throughout the day, he's always being called over. He even makes jokes in the show about how it feels like he basically lives there at this point, because he's always having to help them with something. And with that, it's all yours at the end of the day. Like, he feels like they control his life. Like, no matter if he goes home at night to go to sleep, if he's going out to do other things, at the end of the day, he's always gonna have to go to them to help them, whatever shenanigans they've gotten up to. Like, his life has no purpose without them constantly giving him things he needs to do. His name has no value if his jobs have no one to serve. If they aren't sustaining his need to serve, to protect, to, you know, heal any injuries or wounds they have, or illnesses, or whatever is going on, if they aren't there, he's essentially nothing, because that's all his life is at this point, because it's completely dedicated to doing all these things. And I think I'm going to be repeating this a lot throughout the video. I think the use of the "aw shucks" line is very genius, because initially I had thought it was really like silly. These mods, usually they'll have just some silly little line they throw in there, like "silly Billy." Take a shot every time I say that. It holds more meaning. The way he uses that line, "aw shucks," it feels like a playful dismissal, or like an acceptance of that reality. The reality of, no matter what, like, he still needs them, even if he's having this whole crash out, and even if he hates having to work and live this way. But like I said, this is not Brooklyn Guy, this is Does Bad Things Guy singing, and considering it is indeed him, the evil twin singing, friend and I discussed this, and the lyrics have this whole other depth to their meaning because of it. Does Bad Things Guy is the identical twin of Brookie, and that's why he was asked for, you know, to replace him to do all this. That's the whole reason he's here to begin with. And in those 7 months of being, you know, here in this town, having to live out his brother's life, he would have seen how much of a morally better life his brother lives. Like, you know, helping all these people, constantly doing things for others and not hurting them. He would have self-reflected, and in essence, he would have felt that he himself was a failure, because despite circumstances that they both grew up in, his brother chose this other path. He Does Bad Things Guy turned to a life of crime, but his brother wanted to fight crime. Isn't that poetic? And even though Brooklyn Guy isn't here to listen to what he has to say, Does Bad Things Guy still sings in anguish about how his face, his life, his identity, all of it, like, they share it at the end of the day. And he's going to be forgotten. He is, he's just another criminal. He's just another person who does evil and who hurts others. But his brother is someone who rose above all the conditions that they grew up together in, decided to go against, maybe if he had the same anger and feelings as his twin did, he decided he wasn't gonna give in to that. He was going to do better because he wanted to. And again, there's a genius in the "aw shucks" line here too, because he's accepting that he is beyond saving, beyond redemption. Being his brother, being his reflection, he can still hold on to that faith in him that at least his image will be projected in a brighter, more hopeful light than what he did to his own name, you know? I think that's beautiful. And then the next set of lyrics we have here, again, I'm gonna read this out like a robot. "I'll watch as you bleed, for I warned you, you did not heed. It's your fault and hers too. Why I did what I did, it was all for you, aw shucks." Please, listen to the actual song, because it sounds way better than that. When I first heard this, and I saw the animation, I thought it was gay horror. I thought that he was saying, I wanted you, you did not hear. And I genuinely thought that he was like having some crash out over his crush getting with a girl and his feelings not being reciprocated. But that is not the case. It's about the secret door being uncovered. I think the immediate "I'll watch as you bleed," it suits him extremely well, because it captures his need for gore, and then it continues into his desperate attempt to justify his own actions now. His repetition of I warned you, it feels like he's trying to reinforce to himself that he did what he could, but in the end, they didn't heed the rules. They didn't do what he told them to, and in his head, like, there's nothing else he can do but punish them for what they've done now. And again, he's shouting at Marvin and Rose it's their fault, and that they could have prevented this, but opening the door led to this inevitability that they would have to be killed. Now, when he says why I did what I did. It was all for you. I'm not 100% sure what he's referring to in the actions of what he did. I believe he's referring to like why he would kill people for their uniforms or something like that. I apologize, I don't have much more of an in-depth thought to share on those lyrics, although I'm sure they are, I'm sure they're very well written. I'm just not smart enough to understand them. But shucks here, I feel like it sounds more like a sarcastic expression of his frustration, like he's using this typically innocent, cute quote to try to just, in a way, not take himself too seriously, but to also show his frustration in that, like, I wish I had better words to describe what I was thinking. If you hear it, I'm sure you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, let's just move on to let's move on to the next one. Now, the third lyrics I'm gonna be going over. I believe this is a fan-made remix of the song, and I really liked it. Carbide to cerise, underneath silver lining, the scars run deep. My trust gone, it rings true, and it pains me to think I believed in you. Right off the bat, these lyrics taught me two new words. Carbide, I learned, is a type of metal typically used in cutting tools, such as a saw, you know, because he's using that to, you know, to cut them up. So that's clever. And cerise is a shade of red, like a darker shade of red, would be similar to blood. Pretty cool. I didn't know about those words. I don't know how often I'm going to be using those, but, you know, if I can slip that into a few sentences in the future, that'd be pretty good. I think the second line, you know, the whole silver lining and scars running deep, I think it's a nice nod to how his family life was and whatever else would have led him to his murderous life of crime. I realize I said that in a tone that might have sounded sarcastic. I genuinely do mean that. I do replay these songs a lot. I have so much love for them. The trust gone and him being so furious about the memory of him believing in them hits really hard. Like, I think it's a beautiful irony on how, like, the couple, they put their trust, they trusted him with their lives, like, you know, being a surgeon, being a cop, they trust him to save them whenever they need that, and he's like turning it on them. He trusted them to not find out he kills people, you know, and he's more heartbroken about that. He thinks he's more heartbroken. I really like how much you can like hear and feel his anger when he sings about how he believed in them. Please, you have to listen to all three of these, because I'm telling you, they're so well done. I really love, I love how, like, in his delusional mindset, like, he is able to convince himself he's the victim of the situation. I was gonna have another chapter here, but it was just kind of bullet points of different things in the animation that I really liked. I don't know how to verbally say what it is I appreciate specifically about these different points. I might show them on screen and probably put up like a bit of text to explain like what I think is nice about them, or maybe I'll just show them and hope that you guys can also appreciate those frames or clips, whatever I end up doing. But yeah, man, I can't believe I've already talked for about 22 minutes now, and I still don't feel like I've gotten everything across. I still feel like there's a lot more analysis I want to give. I feel like I went through this so quickly. But yeah, that went by really fast, feels like. I would love to talk about this for way longer. I can't think of anything else I want to say. Maybe it has been quite a bit since I made a video, so I'm probably making my points a lot quicker than I want to. If anyone watching this video is like, you know, really into this mod too, and you want to talk about it, I would love to. Just, you know, let me know in the comments. You know, you and me, we can talk for however long we want. I don't know if I showed the artwork I've made, the little drawings I've made of these characters too. I've grown very attached to them. I have my own little personal headcanons. Actually, no, I could, you know, give me a second. I'm gonna find my headcanons. We're gonna go over those. Think, you know what, let's go off my memory actually, because I can't find my list of headcanons. I'll just edit out any long pauses I have, like maybe this or not, I don't know. Okay, so personally, okay, you guys know how Brooklyn guy has that bald spot. I headcanon that Does Bad Things guy doesn't have that, and everyone else, like when he switched out with them, they just assume that he got a hair transplant surgery and didn't say anything about it. Also, when I draw them, I like to think that Does Bad Things guy has very slightly longer hair. Not by much, just very slightly. Because I notice a lot of media likes to do that. They like to make their evil characters have longer, hotter hair. Also, he's definitely gay, okay? He's gay for Marvin and has a crush on him. And he wears eyeshadow. And I think Does Bad Things guy looks really good with an angry face on him. I don't think he has a nice smile. And I think the best way you differentiate them is Does Bad Things guy has a very slight red aura. It's true. I met them one time and he did have that. And he wears earrings because there was a drawing I saw once and I genuinely, looking back at it now, it didn't have this, but when I first saw it, I genuinely thought that the person who drew them put earrings on Does Bad Things guy to make it clear who was who, and I thought that was really funny. And also, I think Does Bad Things guy is the younger of the two twins. Maybe just by a few minutes, maybe by hours, maybe by years, who knows. But I think his chaotic nature is a lot more reflective of that of a younger sibling. And also, this is my personal headcanon here. I think he's evil because he refers to himself as daddy. And people who call themselves that are scary and evil, and please don't call yourself that. Moving on. Is it just hot in here, or is it me? I'm sorry. Anyways, maybe I'll make another video on this in the future. I know the mod is still under development, so maybe I'll talk about it again. Maybe I'll have more to say about these characters. Maybe I'll remake this video and I'll have a whole new revelation about how I feel about them, and I'll just have so much more depth. Or maybe I'll just say the exact same things, but I'll say it in more words because I'll be more comfortable talking. I'm not sure. I want to try to make more videos for you guys because I have been slacking a lot on that, and that's my own fault. I think I'm trying too hard to make tier list videos, and I'm not just making videos that come to mind. Bear with me though. I'm gonna need a new video editing software soon, I think. I've been paying for Premiere Pro and it's quite a lot to be paying for to not be making enough videos and not making any money off of anything. So, I'll figure that out. If you guys have any free video editing softwares that you know about, please do tell me. Maybe I'll keep paying for Premiere. We'll see what happens. I'm really trying for you guys. I'd like to do more character analysis videos, I think, because I thought this was really fun to make, and character analysis, character design, all that stuff. That's always really been my passion, and I think if I went in on that, that'd be good. It's a bit daunting though, because I see a lot of people that have these really long videos already on these characters and it's very well researched, and then I start thinking I don't know if I could make something like that, but maybe I have some personal opinions, or maybe I do have something to bring to the table. You don't know until you never know until you just start trying, right? If I don't make that, I'm never gonna get better at the character analysis. I'm just gonna keep it all to myself. I'm just rambling a little bit because I want to make this video a bit longer because I feel like I owe you guys that for so much inconsistency in how often I post. But I promise you guys won't be. Oh, jeez. I can't even promise that because I feel like I say that I'm not going to make a video for a while, but I'm going to try to stay more active, post more in general, in different platforms, get back out there. Oh man, the recording time says 30 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm talking for so long. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll make something else soon. Oh, and I should probably mention too, I've been trying to stream. I'm not super consistent with it yet, but on Twitch I'll put my username up here, but I've been trying to stream there too whenever I get the chance. So if you want to subscribe or follow, or I think it's follow on Twitch, but if you want to do that, I would really appreciate it. I'd like to be able to stream gameplay and make more videos. That'd be pretty cool. I've been talking about this with a couple people too. I really like puppets too lately. That would be fun to make little shorts if I get ideas. If you guys want that, I don't know. I have a lot of things I want to try. I mean, I'm talking about writing books and making video games and so many things. Trying to learn code too. Anyways, that's enough. You guys came here to listen to me talk about aw shucks man, not to hear me rant about whatever. Okay, love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.
You're all a bunch of freaks! Jesus, get out of my car! What even are you? Go! Go!